Hello, everyone. So we just started recording. I am so excited to get to have my coach, Andi, speak with us tonight. And she's going to talk to us about something that I feel like is just so important. It's something that just recently I signed up my boyfriend as a coach so that I could really start strategically growing my business. And something that really helped me do that and understand the importance of that was talking to Andi about the importance of that. And for us, and Kim's not going to join us on this call tonight, but for us, as we are trying to build business builders and share with you guys the best ways to start building your businesses as we are learning the best ways to build ours, we thought that it would be awesome to have a fresh face come talk to you guys. And so Andi's going to talk to you guys, and she can kind of introduce herself a little bit more. But I just feel just really blessed and lucky that she was the person who invited me into this business, and she's been doing it just a little bit longer, but it's just been so successful, and so she has so much to share with us, and so I'm so excited and thankful, Andi, that you took the time to join us. So I'm going to pass it over to you, and I can't wait to hear from you.
Well, thank you, Brittany, and thank you so much for inviting me onto the call tonight. I feel very honored, and it's so nice to meet you girls. I want to say in person. This is in Texas for now until Summit, right?
Yeah.
But tonight, so I've been a coach a little over 2 years. My journey all started with weight loss, and I was a closet coach for a while. I was afraid to share that I was doing this. I'm a nurse, and I kept saying to my coach after I had a pretty significant transformation that I didn't want to be a coach. I didn't want to sell anything. I kept telling her I have a job. I went to school to have a career, and I'm not going to sell anything, so stop asking me. But she convinced me to take the discount because I was obsessed with Shakeology and loving the programs. I kept buying program after program, and I kept referring all of my friends to her. So finally she said, sign up already. So I said, okay. And so I immediately started running a challenge group because I loved being in her groups, and she kind of kicked me out of the nest once I signed up a little bit. So that's kind of where it started for me. And I went all in once I had somebody say yes to be on my team. I timidly put the coaching opportunity out there to a couple people who I led in my group for free. I've never required a purchase. That's just me. And I know a lot of top coaches require challenge pack purchases, and I totally understand that mindset. But for me, I just was like, anybody can join, buy something, I don't care. I mean, now I'm like, could you pretty please buy a challenge pack? But some of those girls, after being in my groups for months, and I would like really nervously send them a message like, hey, maybe you could try this coaching thing. I don't really know. Like, it's kind of cool. It's really fun, blah, blah, blah. When they said yes, I was like, shoot, now I better figure out what I'm doing because I have people on my team. So that's kind of where I just dove in. And honestly, at that point, I wasn't looking to be a business builder, but I felt like I owed it to them to figure out what it was to be a successful coach. So I dove in and I watched every single call and recording, and I've loved it ever since. So one thing I did at that moment in time when I decided to go all in was I signed up my husband, because as I jumped right into every single training I could get my hands on and every single YouTube video from top coaches and everything, I kept hearing this common theme of sign up your spouse, sign up your spouse. So at this point in time, I had been drinking Shakeology for about a year, and my husband had never, he had tried it here and there when I'd be like, hey, it's Saturday morning, please just take a sip. He's always been a runner, so he wasn't even interested in doing my lame at-home workouts. Don't get me wrong, my husband's very supportive and kind man, but he just did his own thing as I was doing my journey. He always supported me in the fitness and the Shakeology, buy however much Shakeology you want, but he didn't really want anything to do with it. But when I decided to go in, I was pretty much like, look, I've heard that you need to be a coach now. So that means you need to be drinking this every day, because I'm not going to buy it and have it sit on the counter. And this new program's coming out called Insanity Max 30, and you're going to do it. So that's just how it's going to be. So, at that point, I was already an Emerald coach. So I want to rewind a little bit. Now that I know what I know, I had 2 people sign up literally within the same week out of that original group that I had. So I was Emerald kind of overnight in a way. But had I only had one, I would have signed Eric right away, because To be an Emerald coach, you know that you need one coach on your right side and one coach on your left side, and then you're an Emerald coach. And I'm sure that Kim and Brittany have discussed up and down why that's so important. But just to reiterate, Emerald is a huge deal, and in my opinion, it's a decision, because everybody has two people in their lives that you can convince to say yes and drink Shakeology. So whether that's a friend, a spouse, a grandparent. Side note, both of my parents, both of my brothers, both of my sister-in-laws, and my grandma and my husband are coaches on my team in very strategic places. So when you're an Emerald coach, you just need those two people. And then you start learning bonuses, right? So as an Emerald coach, you earn $14 every single time one of your sides has 200 points and one of your sides has 100. Boom, $14. So it's a big step in your business. You get tons of recognition from your amazing upline coaches, and you're starting to earn more of what becomes your residual income. And that's huge. In the beginning of my business, and I couldn't even pinpoint exactly when, but some point it flipped from where the majority of my paycheck went from commission to a little bit being bonuses to now the majority of my paycheck is bonuses and smaller amount being commission. But I've always been in Success Club 10 since I went all in as a coach. So my commission is generally the same, as HD customers come and go. And that just kind of shows you how that residual income grows from Team Cycle bonuses. So hitting Emerald is huge. So the other thing that happens as an Emerald coach is you may have one side that has a lot more volume than the other. That would be considered your strong side. So every single week as you move forward and you're earning these bonuses, whatever's left over after it's cycled, 200 for one side, 100 the next, you get $14 and so on and so forth. If there's more left on one side, that volume gets banked, and it's like your Beachbody bank, and it saves it for you. And what's really cool is that as long as you maintain your Emerald rank, that bank will build and build and build and build and build. I have a couple people on my team who have been Emerald, Ruby, really close to Diamond, and they've always maintained that. And I've recently asked them what their banked volume is, and it's like hundreds of thousands of banked volume, where if they built on the other side, they would be maximizing so much in that volume. And I really hope I don't lose you guys in this, but I want to drive home this point, because in the bigger picture of things, it's super important to know where you're going in this business and how to best build your business. So with that, if you have one side that has a lot more volume than the other and you're ready to sign your spouse, you want your spouse on, or significant other, on the side with the lower amount of volume. So if you haven't signed that person up yet, strategically you want them on that lower side, because that is an account that you can control. It works great if you're not an Emerald coach yet and you sign up your spouse and you sign up that other person, boom, you advance yourself to Emerald. If you end up like me and you are an Emerald and now you're looking where to put your spouse because you know it's important, you still want them high up in your organization, because all of that volume underneath will start to collect under them. So let's say you sign them up and you hit Success Club. You can start adding your customers under your spouse and let their account collect the commission and let your account collect the volume, which is another reason once you get to Emerald, you never want to lose that Emerald, because then you're collecting all that volume plus the commission. So it's not exactly doubling your income there, but it's multiplying it more than just one-to-one. So I've seen a lot of coaches build to close to Diamond and then add their husband at that point. That's another good strategy. But in my opinion, if you're a business building coach and your husband is not signed up yet, now's the time. Put them on the side that has the lower amount of volume and just let that account stay. A lot of times what happens is you start to build and you're adding coaches and you're getting close to Diamond, and you have one rockstar coach on one side and hopefully your spouse is on that other side, and then you can add a couple coaches under your spouse, make your spouse an Emerald, and boom, then you're a Diamond coach. So it's very strategic, but the point is having them higher in your business going forward is going to help you. My husband's account currently is a Diamond. A lot of people may not realize that I am a 5-star diamond coach, but I really only have 3 diamonds on my team aside from me. The other diamond is my husband, and then the 5th diamond is my 2nd CBC. So you can essentially create your way to diamond and then even beyond with your spouse's account, building with hobby coaches and discount coaches. And I'm not saying that that's what we want to be doing. We want a team of rock stars that all want to go all in with us, but there is some strategy there with that. I know some coaches who have gotten to the point where their spouse's account brings in over 6 figures and their spouse has never done a single thing with their business, which is incredible. It just sits there and collects money over and over and over. Meanwhile, also adding to their account that they're earning every week. So it's crucial. A couple points I want to make. So we know that an active coach needs to have 50 PV. And I have so many people tell me, I don't want to sign up my spouse. They're hardly even on board with what I'm doing. And to get them to say, sure, buy another bag a month, like that's a tough sell. I get it. But a couple things, and this is a little bit off topic, Britt, but it's been on my heart, so I want to share.
No, it's perfect.
Share your big, hairy, scary goals with your inner circle, especially your spouse if you haven't already. It's, sometimes we get in our heads and we have these goals, and if you don't follow through with your goals and you haven't shared them with anybody, then it's kind of like, well, nobody knew, but if you put it out there to people and then they know and they can hold you accountable to them, then it kind of puts a little pep in your step, like, shoot, I better bring something to the table. That's exactly how I felt. I was afraid to even tell Eric that I wanted to go all in with this. I was afraid of what he would think. When I told him I wanted to stay home and not be a nurse anymore, I was afraid of what he would think. But leading up to that point in my journey, I was so headstrong, at least outwardly. Maybe inwardly I was scared, but outwardly I was like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So when I told him, look, I think I can do this and I want to stay home, he was 100% behind me. He didn't doubt it for a minute. And so that's powerful. So if your spouse is like, dude, you're already buying all these shakes and all this stuff, but I don't want to do that, get them behind your goal by sharing your passion for what you're doing, and put your goals out there and let them know that you're in this and you're going to put in the time and the effort, and that you're not going to let them down or let yourself down, because you can do this. There is no shortage of success in this company, and I believe that 100% to my core. The other side of things is there's a lot of things that you can get 50 PV for that's not Shakeology, and I went and made an entire list for you girls today that I will post and send to Brittany. So if your husband is like, absolutely not, I'm not going to drink it, and you don't want to get way behind on Shakeology, there's 2 ideas. You can purchase something else every month to get that 50 PV, anything from Boost, Energize, Recover, anything from the performance line. Or the other things, the Derm exclusive line, which maybe you didn't even know, but we have a Derm exclusive line. If you already buy face wash or moisturizer or eye cream or something like that, you can buy a couple of those and keep your husband's account active. You need that stuff anyways. Sometimes I buy, well, Eric drinks it every month, but if we do get a little bit behind, because he doesn't drink it every day, I certainly do, then sometimes I'll buy a couple fixates, because I'm always giving out fixates to potential challengers in my groups, winners of raffles, whatever. So that's an easy thing. And I'll send you guys that list. So there are ways to carry that account, keep it active, even if your spouse is like, absolutely not, I'm not doing that. The other idea is to get Shakeology samples, and you can get a box of 24 and do a Shakeology 7-day challenge where you, offer a clean eating menu, and anybody who signs up, you charge them basically $5 per packet, so you'll make your money back. You can tell your husband, look, I'm basically going to sell these and try to get people in love with Shakeology through trying the samples, so it'll be no money lost. So those are my ideas if your husband does not want to participate. My husband is not an active coach. He's an active coach, but he doesn't actively work the business. It is not his thing at all. But what he does do, which I also think is very important, once you share your passion with your spouse and get them on board and hopefully get them drinking Shakeology, is get them to do a program with you. When I encouraged him to try Insanity Max 30 with me. He was all on board. He stuck to it, did the 60 days, got incredible results. And you better believe I used those pictures over and over, and I still do.
Yeah.
And that was 2 years ago.
They are great pictures.
Yes. And it was so awesome to have my own husband, who I had already been doing this for over a year, be like, oh my gosh, this actually does work. I'm actually in the best shape I've ever been. And I'm like, dude, you're like my toughest customer ever. But it makes it more fun and more exciting. And then he a little bit posted on Facebook, a little bit about it, but still it made it more fun. It's more of a family business in that way. Sorry, I got off track a little bit. All right. Sorry, give me one sec.
That's okay.
I didn't realize I said a lot that I want to say.
And then even too, while she's finding her notes, if you guys are thinking about doing that Shakeology challenge, that's actually how Andi got me. I joined a free 5-day clean eating challenge, and I bought it was just like an easy way for me to try it without feeling like I had to commit to the whole thing. It felt nice that I didn't have to create an account. I didn't have to go anywhere. I just left $20 under her doormat, and she sent me Shakeology, and that was, and I tried it for 5 days, and I was hooked. I was just I need more of this. And so that is a really a good way, to do it.
Excellent. So, like I had mentioned, and I don't want to get too off track here, but like I said, you can use your spouse to build yourself to Emerald, and you can also use your spouse to build into the Star Diamond ranks. And I know a lot of coaches like myself who got themselves to 2-star with using their husband's account. And once you get to 2-star, the reason this is so important is then you can open up that second CBC that I mentioned, and it's basically like having yourself be a coach under you again. And this is where the volume really kicks in, because remember how I mentioned you put your husband on your weak leg, the side that has less volume, then you place your other CBC under that, and you're increasing your volume exponentially. And at that point, every single sale that I make, I put it under my second CBC. The Success Club points trickle up to my first. So I'm not running 2 separate accounts in terms of Success Club or anything like that. It all trickles up. But the volume goes, the commission goes under my second CBC, the volume goes under Eric, and the volume goes under my first. So I'm triple dipping, if you will. And that's how a lot of successful coaches run this business, is by triple dipping. No, but I'm kidding. But really, getting to 2-star is a really significant spot. You start earning quarterly bonuses on top of what you're already making, and your spouse can play a pivotal role in that. So if you haven't already signed up your spouse, I highly recommend doing it stat.
So I have a question for you. Yes. And this is actually from Priscilla. I don't know why I said it that way, as if she a studio question from the audience. But so Priscilla and I were talking last week, and her brother is a coach, he's just totally supportive, is doing just part of her team. And she's hesitant. She was had said to me, okay, I can sign up my husband. He's just really not on board yet. But he's a really supportive husband, but she feels like she's not really sure if she wants to do that yet, but she could eventually. But what happened is when she signed up, her business building coach right now, when I realized it was a business building coach, I encouraged her to put her on her weak leg. So she's building that coach. But in terms of strategically building to diamond, I don't know. I feel like in the long run, it's still better for her to wait and then sign up her husband on her weak leg as well, rather than signing him up on the strong leg just to rank advance to diamond. Would you agree with that, or do you think it's beneficial for her to just sign him up on the strong leg? What would you? I
totally agree. Unless I would encourage you to go look at your banked volume. And if it may seem like a lot, I would kind of want to know that number, if you wouldn't mind sharing it with me, because you might be surprised with how quick you catch up to that. So that would be the only thing, is if it looked like at some point you were going to catch up and be even anyways, then maybe it wouldn't matter. But yes, absolutely. If you have a lot of banked, or if you have a lopsided leg, then absolutely you want him on your weak leg.
And I imagine that she might, because she's on my strong leg. So all of your coaches all of that volume is building up into her. So she probably has a really big bank.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah, then I would wait. Definitely wait. And so your next business builder's got to go on that strong leg. For sure. Any other questions? I hope this was helpful. I think it's very, very important. I don't know how else to stress that, but if you're in this to take it all the way, then you don't want to wish you would have signed them sooner. Let me put it that way, because I've heard that from a lot of coaches. And I've heard, so to even reiterate that question, I've heard of people, including Kelly Jimenez, who signed Chris at either, I don't remember if she didn't realize or whatever, but he ended up on the wrong leg, and she ended up canceling and waiting the 6 months to re-sign him, which prolonged her building that account to diamond. And so it kind of made it a little bit more difficult in that way. And I've heard of other coaches doing that where they didn't know and they're on the strong leg and they decided to cancel and wait, which you don't want to have to do that. So it'd be better just to wait until you can put him over there to the right time.
Yeah. So we'll just find you another business builder, Chris.
Yeah.
Priscilla's pushing for diamond by, we talked last week, and her goal is to hit diamond maybe by November 1st. So we're going for it.
Right. So I hope this is okay to share as well, but Team Faithfully Fit is hosting a diamond retreat next March. And for anybody who hits diamond by November 23rd will be invited. And the other thing is anybody who is in Success Club for October, November, and December, that is the other qualification to come. And I would love to meet you girls in person and hug you and celebrate you and hang out. So.
Oh, that's so exciting. That's so exciting. I'll have to share that with our team, because I know also one of my other coaches, Janessa, is, I talked to her on Sunday, and she said she's going to push for diamond by Thanksgiving. So like by that November 23rd cutoff. And then she signed her first coach this week. So, I mean, I was like, that didn't take you long. 24 hours later, you signed someone up. So, but it would be really exciting, because I know that, like, Priscilla, we had some coaches who were pushing for diamond because they wanted to go on that retreat, in the same way that I didn't get to go on the diamond retreat last year for hard hitters. But so it was my goal to be there this year, that it would be fun to have a little bit more time to push for this next one, because March is going to be here so soon.
Yeah, it is.
Do you guys have any questions? It doesn't have to be related to this topic at all either.
I'd like to just sort of dissect mine, Andi, with you, so that we can talk about me specifically and when the best time to sign him is. With Christmas coming, I think I could ask for that for Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The other thing that my husband he does drink Shakeology, but he loves the performance line. Like,
okay.
I have to buy 2 Energizers a month, because if he starts to run out, he's like, I'm like, did it come yet? Did it come yet? So I don't know. Another idea.
Okay. No, I don't have any questions.
Okay.
My husband was the second person I signed up. And honestly, I don't even know what leg he's on. I need to figure out how to look at that.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
Smart girl.
You mean, in terms of what leg he's on, whether he's on your strong or weak leg?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can figure that out together. And then I know Jen could also help you figure that out too, because she, in the same way, when she was signing up her husband, we talked a lot about, like, I was, make sure he's on your weak leg. And before I even really knew what that was, I was just repeating stuff that Andi said. Well, a lot of this business is just, if you feel like you don't really know a lot yet, just keep asking questions. And then before you even really understand it, it's okay to just be like, I don't quite get it yet, but someone I trust told me this, and now I do get it. But so when I signed up my boyfriend, I put him on my weak leg. And it was so exciting because I forgot about setting up his direct deposit, but like I got a paycheck from his account, which is just like so funny. I just can't wait to, like, it has his name on it, but it's going to my bank account. Is that what marriage feels like?
Yes.
Yay! don't have like a joint account because I guess it'll go into his account. I'll just have to make sure to like get it back. Okay, I'll have to figure that out. But so that being said, if you guys don't have any questions, it's totally okay. You can reach out with questions, as always, just anytime. Whether you want to reach out to Andi, whether you want to reach out on our team page, reach out to me, reach out to Alyssa, if you want to reach out to Jen. Like, we're all just fully accessible to you guys, as you know. And I do thank the two of you for jumping online tonight. It was so fun having you both. And Andi, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that you guys all have just such a wonderful night.
Thanks.
Yay. All right, bye, you guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.